We could introduce ourselves. Prayer, okay. Well, the sister is saying we shall have a prayer. After the prayer, we're going to introduce ourselves. After the introduction, I feel my team of leaders here should also introduce themselves. It's very important. Very, very important. So you'll move the cameras in the technical way you have done it for so long. So I therefore want to now invite our senior brother, the deputy mayor of Ayivu Division, Honorable Attendee, who was about it here, to take us through an opening prayer.
Most loving Father, we thank you for the gift of life, thank you for the gift of today, we thank you for your mercy. Lord, we give you glory to you for having brought us here safely. We are assembled here with the representative of all people in the division to discuss it to do with the question of more than 50 villages in the division because of the vastness of the area, the large population in the division. Lord, if we go into the discussion, will you give us the wisdom such that what we discuss here is glory to you and God to the division. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Thank you so much, David, for the opening prayers. Shall we now introduce ourselves? Why don't we start straight there and come like this?
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Paul Attendee. I am councillor representing the ward of Forward of County and most of all, the legal government. As you were my name is Ayivu, I'm an elder. At the same time, I also represented the people of the parliament and I was which is the greater Ayivu, which was 8 counties and parliament. My role here is really pacification and operation harmony.
Good afternoon, dear brothers and sisters. My name is Ayivu Joyce. I am the NRM chairperson of the city.
Thank you very much. My name is Moses Tukibo. I'm the first senior monitoring and evaluation officer for these cities, upcoming cities in Uganda. And Arua City took the responsibility of recruiting the staffing level and so on. We shall give it at an appropriate time. But my role here is to give the national statistics which culminated to cities, decision for cities. Because people don't know how cities are created and so on. So it is important I give the statistics. Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Marlon Avutia. By grace of God, I am the mayor of Ayivu Division in Arua City here.
Thank you. My name is Councillor Speaker of the Council. My role here is to serve and give accountability for the Council and so that the leaders who came to the Council and deal with their own goals effective development of the people in the
Thank you. I want the team that is seated before us to also introduce themselves. Very, very important. And be loud enough, mention your name and your responsibility. Can we start from here?
Thank you very much. My name is Oja.
Can you come here? Quickly, quickly. Yes, let's follow that line. Let's be appreciate your colleagues when they introduce it.
I don't know why after 2 years petition and very much contradictions to their part. That's why we signed we accept. So I'm sorry for this complex. So we set up.
Are we done? Can we now have our cameras here? Hey, we are yes.
Good afternoon, members.
Good afternoon.
Neremoye,
Oh yeah.
Ayivu,
Oh yeah.
Arwes, Oye.
Oh yeah.
This is the Malay, the former LCP chairman of our sub-county, who was elected with the people's endorsement in the position of the General Secretary of NRM and Greater Area District. Currently, I'm the Vice Chairperson of NRM and OSCP. Neremoye.
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters. I now want us to get to business. But before that, apologies from the Honorable Woman Member of Parliament of Arua City, Honorable Maureen Osoro, who was supposed to be here with us for this press briefing, but is caught up with official duties in Kampala. She'll be joining us anytime from tomorrow. Apologies from the Mayor of Arua City, His Worship Wadisam Yakwa, who just jetted in the country last evening from Ethiopia from an official duty, and he has sent us greetings and his blessings upon this exercise. I've just also received another message from Honorable Geoffrey Feta, who is the Member of Parliament for East Constituency in the 11th Parliament. He has told me to let you know that she will be joining us shortly after here because he has just realized some severe headache and is yet getting an immediate first aid. Anytime from now, he'll be joining us. We have all introduced ourselves. We are now getting into the business. This is not a funeral. This is a moment of press briefing. Leaders are media of information to the public that's out there. We deliberately decided today that we sit here in Ayivu Division headquarters with all these stakeholders before you and up there to issue official statement following our meeting at NRM Secretariat a few days ago. That meeting was as a result of a request by the NRM office of Arua City that now that the cell structure elections are complete, as well as those ones at the ward level, therefore what next? Can the Secretariat grant them permission to also now have the structure elections done at the former sub-county level so that mobilization for NRM as a party in the primary elections and also in the general elections can be effective. So when this request was pushed to the Secretariat, before taking a decision, also informed the NRM office that they had received some petitions. And those petitions now resulted into a joint stakeholders meeting at Secretariat. So me, who is here, is the mayor of Ayivu Division Arua City, I act on behalf of the council that I lead. So if I ever attend any engagement outside my area of jurisdiction, it is only healthy and better that when I come back home, I bring all my elected leaders in place and I feed them with information. Because at the end of the day, they come from all the 48 wards of Ayivu division. So if the information is only kept with me, chances are that if my elected leaders don't know, the public out there will not know. We are here basically for three reasons. One, to give you feedback of the meeting at Secretariat. Number two, to affirm our demand to the central government and His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the fountain of honor, that as a council of Ayivu division and as a council of Arua city, we feel the service gap should be bridged by creation of more city divisions. Number three, we are here to give you information that will energize you to go and participate in the party structure elections. I'm aware some of you have gone through the cell elections, others have gone through the ward elections. So now that we are going to also have structure elections at the former sub-county level, that are now political divisions for NRM structure. So those of you who are preparing to participate in those elections, it is the reason you are here, that you now get adequate information, then you go and prepare. Personally, I have decided not to participate in those elections. Not because I wouldn't, but I feel now I am the mayor and I am the party flag bearer. So I don't want to go and squeeze other people who don't have responsibilities yet. Let everybody play a part in the leadership of this country and in the leadership of our mighty party. So I will not play a part, but I am a voter. I am a voter after these other levels. Now, when I will be required to vote, that's when now I will participate. But I want to start by congratulating those of you who went successfully through the cell elections and the ward elections. But also let me console those who failed. This is the nature of elections. You either win or you fail. So if you won, congratulations. If you did not win, please, after all, you are still the area councillor. So that was just party structures. Brothers and sisters, I will give a small preamble, then later I will answer in some of the stakeholders seated here to give you adequate information as to why we are here. You are all aware that what is called Arua City now is a former Ayivu County that used to have the former 7 sub-counties of Pajulu, Adumi, Ayivuni, Aroi, Manibe, Dadam, and Oluko. So these sub-counties were merged to join the former municipality of Arua that used to have 2 municipal divisions of Arua Hill and Rigoli to join now to form what is called the current Arua City. But before this, I think it will be imperative that you are given a background as to where we are coming from, where we are now, and where we want to go. You are all aware that in 1914, during colonial time, the Bazungus came here and they wanted to establish what was called West Nile District. They were looking for a central place between Pakwachi and Adjumani. So they first moved to Marta District, Marta County, now Marta District, in a place called Alekwa. You know, Bazungus are people whose characters do not match with ours. So because of their stringent laws and so on, the people there disagreed with the Bazungus operations and said, no, we cannot live with you, because our people were living the ancient way. Then these Bazungus also went to former county called the Vora. Now it constitutes by constituency exists as a county, but it's now a district of its own, still called the Arua district. The Bazungu went there and they settled around the Ezoko. You also know, because of their stringent laws, our people of Vora say we don't want the Bazungu here. They fought, by the way, they fought the Bazungu seriously. And when they fought, one of them was shot with a bow and arrow at the present place called Odia. So what people call Odia here is not actual Lubara language. It is a Bazungu's cry. While Bazungu was heading towards his death, He cried loudly and said, "Oh, there!" So the Lugora people quoted him as if he was saying, "Oh, there." Now the present "Oh, there" is actually Bazungu's cry. Now, when Bazungu left that place, finally Bazungu ended up at the present police ground. Which communities did the Bazungu found there? Bazungu found the Lugara communities there from Ayivu clan. These were Androvos, who later moved to prisons here. They crossed the river Enyao here. They moved to Idiofe. Then from Idiofe, they were disintegrated in so many other sub-clans. Another community that was there was called the Onzivu. Onzivu later moved towards the Arua Hill. Actually, Onzivu moved together with the Moni community. They moved to Arua Hill. Then from there, they moved to the current Onzivu, which now forms that line. For those of you who are area councillors for Onzivu Ward, it is important that you take note of this history. Then another community that was there were the Ombokoros, the current Ombokoros behind the Vara. These were our uncles, so we lived with them. Another community that was there were the Arivos, the current Arivos. So Arivos moved towards the Tanganyika here. Then later, because the airport was established, plus other, Tanganyika was Tanganyika, partly then part of Aru here, is where the former president Idi Amin settled. So because of this kind of government pattern of settlement, so people kept moving out in the current Arif. Now, the rest of the communities now surrounded these communities I'm talking about. It doesn't mean that the few communities I mentioned were the only ones who were here. The rest of the community were here. Now, those were part of Oluku. Now, Bazungu's aim was to get the colonial agents, so that Bazungu would find the ground easy in order to establish their government. You will remember our former county chiefs that used to be sung in a song called the Alu Zumaringa Iri Mariko Terego Na No Anikowoko Su Maskini Maratsa Towi Augusto Ayivu Azia Bitrevura Aziri Yeremia Madi Aro Zino Kolo Oromi. Those of you who are elderly here, you can now finish the song. So now, these are colonial agents that Bazungu established in order to find ground soft for them, so that they could establish their colonial government here. Now, since Ayivu, now Arua city, was the center of colonial administration for West Nile, what now followed? Now, after having established the office at the current police ground, Bazungu opens this Kambala Road, opens the Renokam Road, opens the Koboko Road here, opens the Lia Road and the Gilgili Road. Bazungu now brings on board their rules. Number one, there will be no cattle keeping on government road. And to make matters worse, your cattle must not defecate on government road. Number two, when you drink and get drunk, you must not make noise around government offices. Number three, now Bazungu establishes a form of taxation and so on. So our people said, now, if this is how Bazungu is, let us leave this town and go far away from here. So our people now started moving away from the central business district, now called the central division. So later, since this was now the only town from across West Nile, now people from outside Ayivu now started coming. How did the people come here? Actually, when we are talking about Ayivu, I want to make it categorically clear in this press briefing that we are not talking about the indigenous community of Ayivu. We are talking about everybody who has already settled in Ayivu. Because there will be no moment again until the end of the world that Ayivus will ever live alone. Marathas will ever live alone. Our uncles from Terego will ever live alone. Mention them. There will never be a moment like that again. So now, at Idiofa here, now when the missionaries came, what was their aim? Their aim was to establish religion and to establish education. The schools that are now St. Mary's Idiofa Girls and other associated schools around Idiofa were established by the colonials. The reason was to train the catechists so that they could read the Bible very well. And if you go to Mvara, the current diocesan headquarters of Maran West Nile Diocese, was also where the colonials established the missionaries established another area of administration. Now, for brothers and sisters from Islamic faith, the Asians later followed from here. Whom did they find on their way? They found our brothers from Yube, the Ringa community, and the Kakwa community from Kongo. They picked them up and they moved with them along here. So that was now how the community of the entire West Nile started coming to Ayivu. Now, later, people were now attracted to come and train under catechism and so on and so on, building this cathedral and so on. So everybody now came here. This was the only business center. If you were dealing in fish that time from Pakwati, you must fish from there and bring your fish because the market was here. So, this recent phenomenon of people selling land was never there previously. It used to be that if you are business associates, you see that somebody always go to Koboko, you go to Pakwati, you go to Madi to bring your product to be sold here. Our people would say, but this place is too far. And the people had not produced like now. Some of the areas were bushy. People would be attacked by wild animals and so. So our people would say, our grandparents would say, please, instead of you traveling very far distance, you put a small house here, you now stay around. This is how people settled here. Now, because of these good schools, because of the worship institutions and so on, now everybody moved here. Later now, when late President Amin became the president of this country, now, armies were recruited from across the country. But for West Nile here, there was need to have the president protected because his home was around the current airport. So a lot of people also moved here. So, having given you this background, today, if some people want to paint a picture as if there is a war in Arua, if some people want to paint a picture as if there is a conflict between the Ayivu clan and sister clans that have settled in Ayivu, I want those people to be very, very careful of what they are about to do. If it is about leadership and politics, it is a matter of presenting yourself in an election. Put your agenda. If people buy your agenda, well and good. If people don't buy your agenda, well and good. For me, I've been in election twice. God willingly, I am going to push myself in the third election. My spirits are very high that people are going to give me their mandate so that I retain this office. But it will not be by inciting violence between the Ayivu community and other communities. I think by doing so, I will be directly answerable to Almighty God. And for those of you who are like me, the elected leaders, I want us to guard against this kind of thing. So, other elected leaders want to portray a picture as if there is war in Arua. There is no war in Arua. How can there be war here when the president of this country has maintained peace for now nearly 40 years? We would not sit here like this years back because our people were all chased to Congo because of wars. But now, because of His Excellency President of government, we are here. We can now have meetings like this. We can now have media briefing like this. It used to be that at such a moment, everybody would have been looking through the window, anticipating that we will be attacked. So now, having given you this background, Arua city now became operational after an act of parliament. I will at this point invite my brother, Mr. Moses Etukubo here, who is the senior monitoring evaluation officer of Arua City, to give us a brief technical background. After that, I'll also give you more light.
Thank you, honorable members, the press, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My role is simple, and in this press conference, I'm a technical person. I work for Arua City, and my background is I'm a senior monitoring evaluation officer for Arua City. This position came as a result of city. Otherwise, senior monitoring officers, and the monitoring officers were not in government yet. It used to be NGO affairs. So this is one of the good things the city has done. Otherwise, I would not have been here. Listen carefully, and this is the basis for decision making. What I'm going to give you, we are helping government to decide very well nationally, because we use what is called national statistical indicators. People come and put demands, but we go and analyze that demands in terms of service delivery to the population, to the wananchi. Arua City is one of the newest cities which was created by an act of parliament. And this city was operationalized in July 2021. The city came as a result of a merger bringing together the former Arua municipality, which had only two divisions, Arua Hill and the Rivoli divisions, and Ayivu County, which had 7 former sub-counties. These sub-counties, in terms of land, in terms of population, in terms of economic activities, in terms of social services, all were amalgamated to come to join the then Arua municipality. The demand for this city was not even from the population of Ayivu. People are misrepresenting, people are trying to give a very bad picture of the population of Ayivu. Yet these are God-loving people who are welcoming at the center of unity in West Nile. No county in West Nile can be compared with the former county of Ayivu, because Ayivu is a United States of West Nile. All the tribes in the world, all the clans in the world are here. As I talk right now, you find Chinese here, you find Indians here, you find even Eritreans here, you find everybody in Uganda, in Africa, they are here. You just move closer inside Ayivu, you'll find all this population is there. For us, we are very grateful that this kind of mix is actually a blend for cities. Cities are not for one tribe, two tribes, or a few tribes. Cities are representative of the global population. So, without wasting a lot of time on this, I want to go to the critical statistics. The critical statistics, which informed the decision to come to this, and then I'll give a small background. The basis for creating Arua City was informed right from what is called Sustainable Development Goal. Before Sustainable Development Goal, there was what used to be called Millennium Development Goal. The global leaders, including our Excellency President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, on behalf of Uganda and as fountain of honor, joined the global leaders of US, European communities, and so on, to come together and meet in this Millennium Development Goal. Later, the goal has culminated into what is called Sustainable Development Goal. I will not go to the nitty-gritties. So what is actually contained in this thing called cities is provided for under number 11 of the provisions of the Sustainable Development Goals, which provided for sustainable cities and the communities. What did these people actually do? President Museveni and other leaders, when they went for this meeting, these people anticipated that by 2063, the world population, the global population, 75% of the global population will want to stay in cities. Therefore, there is need to prepare these cities to accommodate, to bring in this surplus population. By the way, for us, as Ugandans below 45, We don't need rural areas no more. We need cities. That is the aspiration. These people vision it. People who are advocating for districts, this is actually creating more rurality, ruralism. The city is a vision, clear vision, which is manifested by our leaders, and in that arrangement, they now appointed a global fund, money, which was now supposed to go to improve cities' infrastructures through the Cities Alliance. World Bank provided money to start deliberate infrastructure improvements. Arua City benefited. By the way, in Africa, Arua City was found to be number one in urbanizing. That's why Mayor Asiki Charles, I wish he was here. Asiki Charles were able to go to, I think, was it Mali or Morocco? Yes. They, even Arua City was awarded. They gave an additional 3,000 US dollars as a monetary award. So, because of the fast urbanization of Arua municipality during that time, Arua municipality in Africa, there was need to improve what? The infrastructures to accommodate the people. Infrastructure such as the roads and markets and so on, other things. That is how we were able to now get the first project called Uganda Support to Municipal Infrastructure. I want to give you this USMID. People still call it USMID. Now it is now UCHMID, Uganda Cities Support to Infrastructure Development, which already, as I talk right now, government of Republic of Uganda and with the help of World Bank has allocated US 120 billion. This is going to still help to improve our road infrastructure, connectivity, opening these roads and cities. Nobody is going to take this city away. By the way, I must say this one clearly. The developments are now here. What about visions 2040? Vision 2040, it provided for also smart cities. I'm giving you the basis. Now, NRM government from 2016, after these global arrangements, after the president had consented to those international charters, he came and put this thing in the manifesto. You people, I don't know why you're not telling to your colleagues. This is the NRM manifesto. Yes. So the manifesto called for regional cities. By the way, regional cities. Initially, they were supposed to be for Arua was number one on the list. We have Gulu, we have Jinja, we have Mbarara. Is that okay? And one of the national reasons why these cities are also created was to decongest Kampala. Most of you have traveled to Kampala, you know the traffic, you can take almost 3 hours on the road. That's not how cities are. That's why we're even advocating for roads which are about 40 meters. And I'm happy our population has accepted this. After learning and watching the kind of challenge Kampala is experiencing and other cities, people are saying Arua city is too big. These are people who are never traveled. The largest cities, which are about 400, largest 400 cities, are not even in Africa. China alone has over 57. Actually, the first 50 largest cities are in China. They are not even in US. A city can be 9,700 square kilometers. Arua is only 401, not 4,000. And then you are saying, this is the largest city in the world. This is rubbish. These are people who have never traveled. We need this city, and the government is doing this basically to bring services closer to the population. And the NRM manifesto is very careful. By the way, as monitoring evolution, I'm also monitoring the performance of the manifesto in implementing this. This is statistics we have been, last time they gave us indicators here we have given, how we are performing, how we are forming, capital is accumulating in this city. So, why was this city created? There are very many reasons. But fundamentally, I want to go to how this city will be created. There were indicators. We use what are called performance indicators to establish a city. The performance indicators are in terms of land. During the demand for city for Arua city, Arua municipality had only 10.5 square kilometer of land. Are you listening to me? Yes. Then the population was 62,000. This central division was only 62,000. Yet the city demand was that in the performance indicator, the city demanded minimum land to give a rural city, a city status was 150 square kilometers. Where will a rural municipality get this land? Of course, you cannot jump from a rural municipality. Maybe you jump to Aringa or you jump to Madiokoro to get more land. No. Cities go organically. Is that okay? So when a rural municipality was not enough, it would necessarily mean the neighborhood. And they don't come anyhow. That's why political leaders made decisions. So 10.5 square kilometer would not even be enough to establish, if Yamina was lenient, would not even be enough to establish a municipality. But it was a decree. I want to thank government now for being farsighted to now get this city as one of the global cities to be in the future by adopting some of the resolutions from you people. So, in order to meet the demand of land, which was minimum of 150 square kilometers, it was found necessary that Ayivu should come on board. So, when Ayivu was onboarded, Ayivu came with it 390 square kilometers. This is a very big portion of land. So the whole of Ayivu from Budukali up to Odramachaku is now in Ayivu. Nobody will change these boundaries, especially when we are still around. The second minimum condition was that for this city to take effect, the population should be at least 300,000. 300,000, not 30. We are talking of 300,000 population. In fact, the population of Ayivu during that time was enough as a single to be a city. After all, the airport, Muni University, all the social cathedrals, and major investments which were needed to provide the much needed economic services were already in Ayivu. Generally speaking, coupled with the level of economic activity, social services, schools, mentioned the rest, we have 50 government-aided schools here. 54 government-aided, and then Central has about 16, 70. Now, let us go to some of the statistics I brought here so that people understand it better in terms of what does it take for people now to talk about Ayivu vis-a-vis Central. The land area which Ayivu has come with in the city of 391 square kilometer is represent 97.4% of the whole 100% of land in the city now. 97, if you people did not know, 97.4% of a rural city is Ayivu.
Meaning, literal meaning, without Ayivu into the city,
there will be no city. And if you make a decision to say you want now pull out from this mess, the city will not be there. It will only collapse. That is what I'm trying to explain. While the central division is 10.5, representing 2.6. 2, not 20. I'm not talking of 2. It is 2.6. You can see. These are the statistics which people need to understand. When you people are demanding for His Excellency and the government to establish more division, this is consistent with government vision. That is government vision. That is what as a government you people demanded. So, in terms of population, what does it take? Population of Ayivu, as I talk right now, this is from UPOS, 325,000. 325,000. This represents 85% of the overall population in the city. The total population of the city, as I talk right now, is about 384,000. That means Arua Central Division, those two divisions are about 78,000, representing 15%. Now, members, what is very important now in this kind of economic engagement, socio-economic engagement, is the cost of service to access service. What does it take somebody in a rural city to travel to get service in a rural central? It will only cost somebody 2,000 Uganda shilling, because you jump on a border, you use 1,000 to reach any of the divisions, and then you also use 1,000 to go home. That means 2,000. But what about somebody from Ayivu who is in Iriki and in Nyovura? It will take this person something between 30,000 to 50,000. These are the statistics. This is the basis why matches, when the city was being operationalized, the position of Ayivu division was that 4 divisions would be given. I think that was the position. 4 fully fledged divisions. Fully fledged divisions means division like Ayivu division now. Another one should be here, another one should be there, another one should be there, and then another one should be there.
Maybe for record purposes,
Yes.
the demand in actual sense is to have all the former 7 sub-counties
As a
full-fledged city divisions that are labeled municipalities.
Yes.
But in the event that government feels the resources are not enough, we will be contented with any number that government will give us from here, while knowing that with the population rising, definitely all these former sub-counties will in future become what? City divisions of their own. So the documents for now are demanding for 3.
Yes.
3 in the sense that we already have 1, which is seated here where we are. The 3 now we are meaning is Atumi and Ayivu,
Yes.
Maji, Aroi and Manipe, Maji, Oluku and Dadam, Maji. Why are we proposing this? Because formerly, all these were the same unit, but because they were interim policy of decentralization, so they were further open to take services closer. So if the government has the resources, we would love to have all the 7.
Yeah. And in terms of burden of service delivery, his worship is here. He is alone. And he has 325,000 population to serve. This is now the burden, the challenge he's facing. And then somebody is there, like him, he's only serving 78,000. Who is bearing the burden more? This is now the challenge we are bringing to government. This cannot be solved by creation of a district, because legally, the city is a district. And in modern times, in order to deepen service delivery, more administrative divisions are needed in Ayivu division to improve this kind of bad statistics I was giving. These was bad statistics, by the way. So these are the realities. When people say service is not going to the population, you decongest Ayivu division by bringing more other divisions, not districts. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my brother Moses Kubo, who is the senior mountain evaluation officer of Arua City, for giving a technical, elaborate explanation as to how Ayivu and Arua municipality merged to form the current Arua City. So, I now want to use this chance to answer some basic questions that are now in the communities. Actually, while you were coming here for this press briefing, it could have been possible that people are asking you, are we in the district or we in the city? Because after the meeting secretariat, those who came ahead of us came here, they danced around on the burger, trade center here. Some threatened to come and remove the division signpost. Others said they are now going to clean the former sub-counties so that the sub-counties can now start operating. I am now wondering, what is the vote number of Ayivu district? Who is the cow? Who is the chairman of LC5? Who are the sub-county chiefs? Who are the LC3 chairpersons sitting in those sub-counties? Let us now answer basic questions. Number one, brothers and sisters, let's be clear from this briefing that nobody, no politician demanded for Arua City. This was government initiative. This was NRM government initiative because they have visualized that in the next 30 years, more than half of the world population will be living in urban centers. So it was only good that we also prepare as Uganda early enough to face that reality. Number two, the former municipality that was 10.5 and the population of about 62,000 would not form basis for it to become a city alone with that population of Ayivu. Now, did the Ayivu just go there and say, municipality, we want to join you so that it become a city? This is the question I want to answer. Because if you went out now, they say it is the Honorable Benedict Tiku, it is the Honorable Watisamu Nyakua, it is the Malo Navutia, it is the Honorable Morino Soro. Now they have attached the Honorable Feta Joffrey, that were the people, including the Honorable Councillors, that were the people who went and demanded the Arua City. And I want to make this history very clear. Before me here, I want to display this in front of camera, that this is now the binded copy of all council resolutions that formulated Arua City. Inside here, all the former sub-counties, including the former 2 municipal divisions, there was also first proposal to have a GA and for a sub-county annexed here. Yes. Later, former minister, Honorable Gabriel said, no, for us, instead of joining the city, we can now become Arua district. Actually, Arua district now did not demand by council resolution that they want a district. They became a district by default because the whole of Ayivu came here, Madokolo moved, Terego moved, now Ayivu now became what? A city. So, the mayor of Arua municipality then was Charles Asiki's council requested the Ayivu county then through Arua district local government and the former sub-counties that Ayivu should join the former Arua municipality for them to meet the requirement of minimum of 150 square kilometers of land and 300,000 population. I want this to be very clear from today. Now, Arua municipality council by them used their resources to do the sensitization meetings. Now, how did the leaders participate? That time did not get me in office. I was not an LC3 chairman, I was not a mayor. But in this meeting, I have almost all my former LC3 chairpersons here. The former LC3 chairperson of Dumi was my brother Asias and Godfrey, who is there. The one of Oluko was our brother Jimmy Bajole. The one of Dadam was Honorable Ndasam, who is now the current city councillor for Dadam, Narua City Council. The one of Manebe was the Honorable Miriam Nathan, who is a councillor now for Lufe Ward here. The one of Aroy is seated next to me here. I want to congratulate him. After that, he now became the secretary of the party, the city. Now, eventually, the vice chairperson of the party. Now, the one of Ayivu was Nicholas, Honorable Nicholas. The one of Atomi already mentioned. The one of Pajulun then was Honorable MV James, who is now the NRM Administrative Secretary for Arua City. Now, having mentioned this, so, now, from today, if somebody asks you, were people consulted? The document is here. And the cover page of this was the letter which was written by Honorable Haji Sakato, the last mayor of Arua municipality. This is the first document. Now, you will all remember that after the general election of 2021, a section of leaders from Ayivu here said the people were not consulted. They decided to petition they decided to petition Arua City. And how did they petition? They petitioned the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. There is a football match out here, and Omubaraka is having fundraising. So if there's a lot of kelele, I urge that let us concentrate. So the document before me here, which I want to display before camera, after our brothers and sisters of Savoy Initiative petition in Parliament that consultations were not done, Parliament, through the former Speaker, Right Honorable, now late, may his soul rest in eternal peace, Jacob Olanya, sent research team on the ground here. And the research team, after finishing their research, produced a report, which is now here. And in the report, they asked the basic questions: introduction, key issues, people's opinions about the Arua City, consultation process, reasons why Ayivu should not be part of the city. I will read a small thing. This summary presents the result of facts, findings study conducted over the disagreement that arose after the creation of Arua City. The study followed the petition made by a group of concerned people of Ayivu clan, Save Ayivu Initiative, to the Speaker of Parliament seeking to withdraw from Arua City and form a district of their own. The former Ayivu County, the report highlights the key findings of the study and some recommendations for Arua City conflict resolution for better relationship and development. Number one, people's opinion. The majority of the respondents, because these people came without us knowing, they moved to ground to ask people in the communities. The response is that the majority of the respondents asked, including the petitioners who were in support of the establishment of the city, were positive about the creation of Arua City, including inclusion of Ayivu constituency to the municipality that was elevated to a city. Number two, consultation process. On the whole, despite a few divergent voices, it was confirmed that the consultation of creation of Arua City, including the inclusion of Ayivu area, took place, evidenced by this document. This is not my document. This is not our document with you here. This is not a Arua City Council document. This is document by Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Now, I will only now take you to the recommendations. Recommendation number one. The following recommendations have been proposed. Number one, government should explore the creation of more divisions in Ayivu to enhance service delivery. Even before our council resolution here, Parliament had already proposed more administrative units be created in Ayivu in the form of divisions. Number two, there is a need for a multi-sectoral stakeholder engagement in the process of planning a rural city that should involve people from all Western districts. Let us take note that Arua City can never be reduced into Ayivu affair. This is a regional city for West Nile. That's why Parliament is proposing that in the process, the neighboring local government should also be part and parcel of the planning, which was done.
Yes.
Now, number three, they are saying there is need for expediting the operationalization of city structure, promoting additional policy autonomy and funding for the cities. Brothers and sisters, this has also been done. How has this been done? Arua City Council was the first city among all the 10 cities that requested for recruitment of staff to bridge the service gap. Now I will take you to this document. For those who have an argument that people lost jobs, the other day when the secretariat, people claimed that the former sub-county staff lost job, that LC3 chairpersons went home, that the councillors went home. All the former 48 wards that were parishes now have the honorable councillors who are now you seated here. People who have lost jobs are those who didn't win elections, and it's a natural process. Now, after we transited into the city, what did we benefit? I was the LC3 chairman of Pajulu sub-county. I only had 5 staff. I had the sub-county chief, I had the accountant, I had the CDO, I had the health assistant, and the production officer. So when you multiply 5 by 7, you get 35. That means substantively there were 35 heads of departments seated in these sub-counties. Now let me take you through the structure of the current division. Number one, we have the division attained equal status with the municipality in 48 parishes, in which 48 parish chiefs became principal town agents serving in the 48 wards. It is the reason why, when His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni decided that people must come out of poverty through a program called PDM, Arua City is now the best performing city in PDM in all of Uganda as a result of the recruitment of the party chiefs. And by the way, these are diploma holders. Others have higher qualification. But during the entrance, the requirement was diploma. Now, we now have a town clerk appointed by Ministry of Local Government serving here. We have assistant town clerk, U3, here. We have principal treasurer, here. We have senior education officer, here. We have senior environment officer, here. We have senior health inspector, here. We have senior accountant, here. We have senior forest officer, here. We have senior production officer, here. We have senior community development officer, here. We have senior probation officer, here. We have physical planner, here. Land surveyor, here. 3 school inspectors, here. Education officer. We also have education officer in charge of special needs education, here, which we usually not have in the sub-counties. Now, as if that's not enough, we have sports officer, here. 7 social workers, these are CDOs. The former 7 sub-counties still have the CDOs from here. Now, we have an agriculture officer, we have an environment officer, we have a tourism officer, we have IT officer, we have secretaries, pool stenographers, officer attendants, porters, revenue officers, enforcement officers, security guards, road gangs. We have over 1,000. We have over 1,047 primary teachers. We have over 198 secondary teachers. We have 83 honorable councillors. People say we're the biggest council in the whole country. The other day we benchmarked with Nansana. Nansana's honorable councillors are 96. So I implore that people should travel. Because some of the people who are making these allegations the other day, when the process of city formation was done, they were for business here in South Sudan, just here. So when government is taking decisions, government cannot wait for you. If a meeting is called here and say you come, and you do not come for the meeting, government will not wait for you because you didn't come for the meeting. We have for press briefing here. Some of our honorable councillors were caught by some duties. For example, Honorable Sanyu Margaret for Ombati Ward. So we cannot say, let her first come, then let the press briefing starts. What we can only do is to lay her apologies here that she was supposed to be with us, but she's taken. Now, we have secretaries for community services. We have a secretary for social services. Now, these are political arrangements. Members, health officers, if you count this slowly, on the compound here alone, you have close to 100 staff. So the city divisions we are asking for will also recruit a similar structure as opposed to the former sub that had the 5. So really, government has given us an elephant. Someone wants us to go and return the elephant, but ask for a chicken. I think this is not possible. As I conclude, we should take note that the whole 401.3 square kilometers land of Arua City is already planned, and we have secured physical development plan. We don't want to develop another Kampala with the jams here. It is approved both by our councils and National Physical Planning Board. So this is a statutory instrument. Really, for somebody to change this city into something else, maybe the person is saying, let Jesus first come back, then the miracles should start. So members, I will not do all the talking myself. Why we are here is because we wanted people to be informed. Now, it will be unfair if I don't talk about service gap. Honestly speaking, if there's somebody who has felt the service gap as a result of closing all the former service sub-counties, it is me, the mayor, it is my staff, and it is you, the honorable councillors. It is the reason why we are saying Can we have more city divisions? So that instead of people coming to look for me as the division mayor in Ondubaraka, traveling, the farthest place here is 20 kilometers up to Onipi. Farthest, this is what we have tested. The other day in Secretariat, people were saying the farthest place is 40 kilometers. Those of you who come from Ricky here, you know what that is. So members, having said all this, we have, for us, we are acting like government. We are not acting from our head. We are acting like government, and we are acting like a lawful institution in place. I already told you, communities were consulted, evidenced by this. Number two, the team of civil to petition Parliament, resource team came here and said status quo should remain, but more divisions should be created. It is here. Now, based on this recommendation, our councils of both Ayivu Division and Arua City have decided now to raise councils also. This is the one of Ayivu, signed by me on your part. Now, as you know, we are LC4 government. We cannot coordinate directly with the Minister of Local Government. So on our behalf, Arua City has already what? Submitted our councils also to Minister of Local Government. They received the copies here. Honestly, in summary, there is no war in Arua. There is no war in Arua between sub-clans. In Ipajuru here, you have Terekwala around the Diofe. You have Marsewanyapa. Across here, you have Waringakwata. Around the Mvaradea, you have Sudan zone, Kenya zone, mention them. Brothers and sisters, our coexistence here will continue until the end of this world. So no political leader should hide behind his or a small clan and say, let me peddle this lie of as if there's a fight in Arua so that I win elections. I am happy to report that voters have their brain, they also have their eyes. So if you went to seek for people's mandate in 2021, you promised them a district, thinking that you are going to grant a district from your pocket. You told the people that government was coming to grab people's land. Now 4 years down the road, no government has grabbed the land. The pieces of land we have acquired from public, for example, in India Trade Center, government through former road district gave us 6.2 billion cities for water projects. All of you are here. We allocated a fund worth 50 million in our council. We procured land from one called Luigi in India Trade Center. That's where the reservoir has been built. Even places where those boreholes were drilled, we had to acquire. The land law has not changed. So, and people who are bringing all these claims, recently they lost the relatives. The relatives were buried within here. So nobody has buried any loved one outside the city. The people who will be buried in the public cemetery, in the city arrangement, will be people who don't have land here. Maybe if you are a trader, you have come from elsewhere, and then you got sick here, maybe you are knocked by cars in an accident and so on, your body is put in the mortuary for a number of days unclaimed. City council will have no option but to bury your body in the public cemetery. But if you are a resident of the city and you have your land here, you will continue to bury your loved ones. It is the reason why church institutions have also have their allocations of public cemeteries. Brothers and sisters, even for our brothers and sisters of Islamic faith, there is a public cemetery there in the middle of the town. But you are not buried there by mass. You are not buried there because definitely if you are a Muslim, you must be buried here. The family will give a consent. If they want you to be buried there, you'll be buried. But if the family said, no, we want to bury our loved one at home, you will always be taken and be buried where? Home. So if you promise to people things that you thought were easy, now that we are towards next elections and you find that days are running fast and you have not achieved your false manifesto, it is like eating a dry beans with the pest without water. The following day you'll go to the toilet alone. Nobody will follow you. If it breaks you, it will break you. If you shout, you'll shout there. So thank you for listening to me. The chairperson NRM Party is here. You requested the secretariat to grant you permission to have structured elections conducted at those former sub-counties. but now there will be political divisions. So you will give us an explanation of that. If I have missed anything, we'll always come back and explain. I don't know what
One thing is that in Ayivu, for purposes of statistics, we have existing cities already. In Ayivu division, the airport here you see is an equivalent of a city. Muni University down there is a city. The cathedrals, using UK standards, these cathedrals are cities. If we are supposed to count these individual cities, and you add the industrial park, then you add the upcoming markets, which are satellite markets. Why is Ayivu not a city? Thank you very much.
so let's have chairperson.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, my name is Ayivu Joyce, the NRM chairperson Arua City. As you are all aware that National Resistance Movement is undertaking nationwide party grassroots structure elections, and Arua City as an equal and new establishment is involved. Recalling, all the new cities were created after the previous national party structural elections of 2015. I mean the last structural elections of the NRM party were done in 2015 when we were still in Arua district, the Greater Arua district. Acknowledging that this new development has created opportunities for the establishment of new party structure in these new cities. The fact that Arua City, like all other cities and districts, started ongoing these party grassroots elections and indeed successfully held all elections from the cells, which previously in the districts were called villages. Now here we are calling them cells. And to the wards, previously when we were in the district, they were called parishes. And now in the city we call them wards. And now these elections were successfully done at that level. And the next elections were confused because all our former 7 sub-counties of Ayivu division and the 2 divisions, former divisions of Arua Hill and the River Oli divisions were collapsed. We had to take decision as the Secretariat of NRM of Arua City to consult supervisors at the NRM Secretariat. When we did this, we were requested to put all this in writing and go with it personally to the NRM Secretariat in Kampala. And when we went to Kampala, we had several meetings with our leaders in the Secretariat, and they understood this very well. Before we came to a conclusion, because they already had given and have our elections at the former sub-county level, because those are the structures currently that we have as NRM, and our request was that these sub-counties will be considered as political divisions because we are now in an urban setting. In urban settings, we never have sub-counties. Before we were given the letter, we realized that some leaders back here heard about this and petitioned the request we put before the NRM Secretariat. And this caused our leaders from the Secretariat to invite the petitioners, and also they requested us to bring more numbers of leaders who can go to the Secretariat to explain rather than the chairperson alone. And members, I would like to say that after the meeting with the stakeholders who were invited back from Arua, the Secretariat decided that our request should be granted. And ladies and gentlemen, the next elections that we are going to have will be conducted in the political divisions of the former sub-counties of Arua City. By then, Arua District. For Central Division, elections are going to be conducted in Arua Hill Division and River Oli Division. In Ayivu Division, elections are going to be conducted in Oluko, Dadamu, Manibe, Aroi, Ayivuni, Adome, and Pajulu as political divisions. These are the structures that we currently have, and they are going to remain the same. Even when Arua became a city as an NRM party, we were still using these structures from the cells, wards, and then former sub-counties. We still have those chairpersons who were given motorcycles for mobilization. They are actively working for the NRM party. And at that level, the NRM also recruited registrars, whom we call the supervisors of elections, in actively working for NRM party. And therefore, the NRM is aware that it has been paying registrars of the cells, wards, and the political divisions, and then the cities. So we have no doubt. Let us not get worried of anything and continue to mobilize in these political divisions for the forthcoming elections. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We have successfully achieved what we requested from the Secretariat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can we now have our mama? We continue to go to the service here. Keep up our work here. Very neutral work here. So, you're welcome.
Thank you, Lord Mayor, and all your council. I think this is a very big opportunity for Arua City, as you clarify issues that have been affecting the city. And I'm so grateful because we got all the information from you, Lord Mayor. We also got the statistics from our senior monitoring officer. We also got information for the from the NRM's chairperson. I just want to say that people can lie, but numbers don't lie. Numbers are factual. So we are not going to indulge as a city in rumors. The facts have been presented to the media and by all of you and your leadership, and I believe not only Arua City, West Nile, or the country as a whole will now know what the issues are in Arua City. We are committed, particularly me, I'm committed to working with all of you to ensure that we have peace in this city and that it grows. There's no reason why it should not. Number two, I'm committed to working with you to ensure that we work with everybody. This city is a regional city. It serves not only West Nile, it also serves Congo and Sudan and beyond. So we should be proud of what the NRM government has done for us to give us this city. We are grateful to the president for his vision and including Arua as one of the cities which is going to create a lot of development. For us, it's all about putting money in the pockets of the people. For us, it's all about fighting food insecurity. For us, it's all about making sure our children go to school. It's all about getting good health care. It's all about ensuring our population enjoys what the mayor was talking about, that money which is coming as PDM, something which is very rare. It has never happened anywhere in Africa. It has happened in Uganda. So please, you are the council. You should go and educate the people. If you did not have the information before, you now have it. And I'm also requesting the media to be able to spread this information because they are the channel through which the people can be able to get information. I want you to work with your brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, all these other people who live in this city and this region. Work together with them to see the success of this city. It's not your success alone. Together, we can do it. And we can do it together. Please, I'm proud of you as a council because you took the right decisions. It's all there in black and white. And so for us, we treasure our president. The elections are coming, and I'm sure many of you are going to be elected in these positions. And like the mayor said, if you lose, please hold your friend's hand and work together. Because it's not the end of the world. And then all of us have to work and ensure that we have our votes. The Lugara said, Ngulungulu, is that not sure? Ngulungulu for who? For whom are we giving our vote? Ngulungulu?